Hello everyone and welcome to Chicago Reacts. My name is Kelsey. I am a voice actor and actor living in Chicago. I was gone for a little bit, but I'm back. I was shooting a film, which I can't talk about much right now, but I will have more info for you all in 2022. And I've seen a couple comments asking if, like, oh, how can we commission Kelsey for voiceover things? The answer is DM me on Twitter. My Twitter account, my Twitter handle is in the description of this video, so be sure to check that out if that's something you're interested in, or if you'd like to say hi or just look at the dumb stuff that I post. Cool. All right. So today I will be reacting to Kerbal Scuffed Program 2, Jeb is Dead and We Killed Him by the illustrious martincitopants. And I am so excited, literally when I walked in here and I saw Kerbal Scuffed Program by martincitopants on the list, I was so excited. I am so excited to continue on this journey of the life of the tragic Jeb. This was suggested by Jonathan Rodriguez. Thank you, Jonathan. You are a person of taste. And yeah, be sure to like and subscribe for content like this, and let's go on Jeb's sad journey together. Oh, there he is. Hi.
Hello again. Bill here.
Oh,
Today,
Bill.
we're back in KSP, ready and willing to send our brave Kerbonauts off to almost certain death.
Let's go.
Again. In this episode of our space catastrophe journey, we're taking another step towards the stars and going to the other planets in our own solar system. Hey there. In case you forgot, our glorious, patriotic, and ethically dubious space program has one goal. Reach another star system, land on its exoplanet, plant a flag, and return. Great sacrifices have been made in this pursuit, and a great many more will surely come.
Probably.
So what happened in the last episode? Well, we flew our first mission, almost got to orbit, actually got to orbit, told Kevin off for being a terrible student.
There he is.
Yeah, you heard me. Went on a boring trip around the moon, and then did a solid moon landing. Nice. Oh yeah, and Jeb died. Rest in peace. It's okay though, because we have a replacement pilot, Valentina Kermit. Like the video if you think Valentina will live out a long and illustrious career in the Bean space program. To achieve our ambitious goals, we've loaded the game up with mods, creating a buggy, unstable, and feature-packed mess of a game. In this video, we're going to go and create some surface bases on the planets in our solar system. We'll sprinkle a couple on Duna and Eve, maybe some around the local gas giant Jewel, and finally, one on the furthest out planet, Elu. So what have we done since the last video? Well, a few things, all within the Kerbin system. We sent Valentina to Kerbin's other moon, Minmus. We went to the moon a couple more times, and we also, maybe, could have, possibly, killed all the remaining Kerbals. That didn't take long. Valentina died in a tragic time acceleration accident while trying to get back into her capsule on the moon.
Oh. Oh
Bob also died in a tragic time acceleration accident while trying to land on the moon.
Oh no.
Fuck! And Bill died after taking this terrible affront to God for a high-speed test drive.
Oh no. Oh, rip.
So no more Jeb, Val, Bob, or Bill.
Oh no.
Rest in peace.
May they.
Instead, we have recruited Urk and Elza Kerman. They've so far flown a few missions each and not died in the process.
Yes.
Yet. Anyway, let us continue.
Alright, launch one, let's go. Oh, what a calm morning.
Ah yes, the sweet sound of incredibly loud birds. We're starting our interplanetary exploration with the easiest planet to visit, Duna, which is the Kerbal equivalent of Mars. Our first mission will place an unmanned probe in orbit. This probe will map out the surface and establish a site for future missions to land and perhaps even colonize. For this mission, we have created the most powerful rocket ever built. For
What's it called?
The 7th time. Its name, Joe Bidome. Two big solid boosters, a powerful core stage,
I was
and
expecting,
a very efficient upper stage.
like, Obama Prism 98 or whatever.
Now let's get
No,
this
we've
lad
moved
into
on
orbit.
to another president. Let's go. Okay. I like how the rocket has hit points. And it just, I had the thought, like, I wonder if someone at NASA is just like, yeah, what's our new shuttle, how many hit points does it have? They're definitely not, but.
Very nice. We're left
oh
with
my gosh, I thought he was going to say the game crashed and it didn't work.
Of delta V. Oi, sir, what's delta V?
Yeah, what is that? There he is again. He's so angry. He's making didgeridoo noises.
Speed.
Cool.
Quite simple. It's how fast you're moving. For example, 4 meters per second. Or, for my American viewers, 2.77 Barrett M82A1s per second. Velocity. It represents speed, but with direction. 4 meters per second, to the right. In physics, and in maths, the capital delta from the Greek alphabet refers to a change in something. So, delta V would be a change in velocity.
Cool.
For example, we're traveling forwards in a straight line at 100 meters per second. If we point our craft forward, how fast would you expect we go after burning all of our fuel? 200. Well, since we have a... Kevin? Be quiet. Well, since we have 150 meters per second of delta V, we'd expect to be going around 250 meters per second. And sure enough, we do.
Look at that monkey in there.
If we face backwards and do the
Look
same
at him.
experiment, we go 50 meters per second in the opposite direction. Nice. So why is this useful? Well, it basically measures how far our craft can go. Remember, our craft is being pulled by gravity. In order to escape its influence, we need to go fast. In order to go fast, we need to change our velocity. And thus, we need delta V. People have made these nice looking maps that give a rough estimate of how much you need to go anywhere in the solar system. As we can see, to get to Duna, we need to escape Kerbal's gravity and then extend our orbit to intersect Duna's. According to the map, this will take us around 1,000 meters per second. Anyway,
cool.
Let's go to Duna.
Let's do it. All right. Fantastic. I was about to start dancing again, but the gifts did it for me. Thank you, sir.
To get our desired trajectory, we carefully plot out a course to a nice low orbit that is highly inclined. However, on the way there, I do this. Oh! What happened here is my incredibly fat, sausage-like fingers mashed the time accelerate button and shot me straight past Juno.
No!
Are you nice. Not to worry though, we packed way more fuel than necessary and can literally just turn around and chuck her in reverse. To prevent shooting past again, we point backwards at the closest approach and slow down until we get a nice circular orbit. And there we have it. We're in orbit and mapping the surface of our first planet. On to
Duna. Launch 2.
I'm just going to tell you right now, Launch 2 was a complete disaster.
Oh no.
For Launch 2, we built another powerhouse of a rocket, Pog Frog 1, with one simple goal. Footprints and a flag on Duna. The rocket was going to place this section here in orbit of Duna.
Monkey flag
this lander would then separate and fly itself down to the surface where we'd do whatever it is we wanted to do. Whether that be running temperature scans, planting important flags, observing the goo, or dropping the Kerbal repeatedly on his head. After doing this important science, we'd hop in the lander and fly it back into orbit to meet up with the transfer stage. Fairly simple, right? Yeah.
You would hope.
You'd think. Anyway, let's launch.
Alright. Back at it with this music. When is it all going wrong?
It was here in low Kerbal orbit that I realized my first mistake.
Oh no.
Luckily, it was fairly inconsequential. Instead of a scientist, the game had placed an engineer into the rocket, meaning we had to launch a quick ship to swap out the Kerbals. After this, we transferred to Duna. In orbit, we separated the lander, hopped inside, and lowered our orbit into the atmosphere.
Oh, he's back. Yay!
And there we have it. Urk hopped out, and planted our first interplanetary flag.
Woohoo!
He named this incredible site Monkey Planet Now Claimed, and inscribed the plaque with...
That's impressive,
Truly,
martincitopants. Congratulations on your monkey noise.
It was quite successful. Nothing exploded. No Kerbals died. Generally, good stream. If only the next went as smoothly. The next stream began where the previous left off.
Oh, the cow.
We just landed and collected some sweet science. Now, in KSP, you can quite easily rack up huge amounts of science by visiting different biomes. And this is what I plan to do first thing this stream. Lucky for us, there was a different biome quite close to our landing site, so I decided to go and visit. And then, this happened.
No! No!
Well, fuck. No way to get back into orbit, no way to meet up with the transfer stage, and no way to get back home.
On Monkey Planet Now Claimed.
So, we immediately got to work on...
Rescue mission! He's just... Oh, shoot. I'm forgetting the name of the movie. Freaking Matt Damon movie. What the heck is it called? The Mars Matt Damon. I literally love that, watching that movie on airplanes. Whatever. Please comment, because my dumb brain can't think of the name of that movie right now, but he's literally just rewriting that movie. Matt Damon is a Kerbal now.
This was actually quite easy to design, because we'd already done it. Introducing PogFrog 1.5.
There it is.
Thank you. All we had to do was remove the science experiments, most of the transfer stage, add an antenna, and we were ready for launch. So, we launched. However, on the way up to orbit, this happened. Yes, that is in fact where the engine is supposed to be.
Uh-oh.
Despite this minor readjustment, we pressed on with the upper stage and made it into orbit.
Okay.
In orbit, we opened up the solar panels and set an alarm for Duna's transfer window, which was going to be in around 150 days, meaning Urk had to entertain himself on Duna's surface for over half a year.
You mean Matt Damon?
Poor Urk. We then set time acceleration to 1 million times and quickly got to the transfer window. Oi! Just wondering what a transfer window is? Nah, that's it. I've had enough.
Uh-oh. This is foot slapping sounds. Oh, see ya. Oh. Oh, he's throwing him into orbit. I see. There he is.
Anyway, class, you may be wondering what a transfer window is.
But who's he gonna take his anger out on now?
Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to know. Today, we're learning some more basic orbital mechanics. So, here I am, in orbit at 75 kilometers in altitude, only just above Kerbin's atmosphere. Here is Jim. Say hi, Jim.
Hey,
He's orbiting at 150 kilometers in altitude. Which one do you expect orbits Kerbin faster? If you said Jim, you're wrong, and you should feel bad. I orbit faster. But why? Well, firstly, if you cast your mind back to circle geometry, this circumference is smaller than this one, so it has less overall distance to travel. On top of this, my craft is experiencing stronger gravity because it's closer to Kerbin. Stronger gravity means we need more force in the opposite direction to cancel it out, which means we need to go faster. Hence, our speed is higher, and our distance is shorter, making each orbit much faster than Jim's. This demonstration also applies to planets. Kerbin is closer to the Sun than Duna, and thus orbits faster. Sometimes they're close together, sometimes they're far apart. Now we would like to travel between them. Lucky for us, there's a time when they line up just right and a craft can travel between them very easily for relatively low fuel. This time is called a transfer window. The downside, of course, is you have to wait for it. Bringing us back to PogFrog 1.5.
Alright,
sitting in orbit of Kerbin, waiting for the optimal transfer window. And would you look at that? It looks like we're ready to go.
Let's go! Please, no crashing this time. Don't strand Matt Damon on fake Mars. It's gonna bother me all night. that I don't remember the name of that movie. The Martian! The Martian. Cool. Thanks for going on this journey with me.
Now, we have a slight problem. Our lander is quite low on fuel.
Oh, no.
And our Kerbal is about 19 kilometers away. Quite close to a half marathon distance. So, we better start waddling.
Oh no! You gotta walk, buddy. Wait, this is literally also just the Martian. Because when he's on the planet, he's like, oh, there's this old, like, module that they sent here in this other crater, but I gotta get there. So he has to put the reactor in the dune buggy and just get over there, like, very manually. Martincitopants. You should have got on this idea. You should have worked with a scriptwriter earlier. You could have beat Matt Damon to this.
Oh, wow, would you look at that? The footage corrupted, and we're here.
Would you look
Amazing.
at that?
We seem to be very low on fuel, but that should be okay. Let's get out of here.
All right, let's go. Come on. Come on, rescue mission. Something tells me this poor Kerbal Matt Damon is not gonna make it back. But I really hope he does. Would you look at that? It's corrupting again.
Oh, what the fuck? Hold on, let me fix that.
Uh-oh, it's arcing. That's not good. That's how you fix that.
Ah, there we go. A nice round orbit created by our large amounts of fuel and delta V that we absolutely had on our rocket without question.
Definitely. Yeah, no, I'm not
Only problem here is
asking.
we seem to have run out of fuel.
Uh-oh.
And we need to meet up with the transfer stage in orbit. But we can't.
This is literally the Martian. This is so funny.
There's no fuel. So Urk is stranded again. I think you know what this means.
He makes it back to Kerbal and he does a lecture for college students and writes a successful book and never goes to space again. Or Rescue Mission 2.
This mission is even simpler than the last one.
Okay.
Because Urk is no longer on the surface of Duna,
Oh right,
we
you don't have
need
to
to include
land.
a lander. Instead, we can simply include a small orbital vehicle for Urk to use to reunite him with the transfer stage. Unfortunately for Urk, although this rocket is on the pad and ready to go, he'll still need to wait another 150 days for the transfer window and another 100 for the transfer itself. Poor Urk.
He's just vibing at this point, out in space. Just alone in space.
And we're here. Urk, however,
Ta-da!
doesn't have any fuel in his EVA pack, which means we need to move the rocket just right in order for him to grab onto the ladder. And there we go. We get
Got
in,
him.
meet up with the transfer stage, get inside.
Did I see on the on the screen somewhere Kerbala Harris? That's good.
Wait for the Duna to Kerbin transfer window, transfer back to Kerbin, ditch the engine and tank, re-enter Kerbin's atmosphere, open up the parachute, land, and recover the vessel. So finally, after several years in space, Urk is home.
And now is when he writes his book and does college lectures and never goes to space again.
So we'll give him a one-day break, and then send him back out.
No!
So, after a long and tedious design... Okay, let me let him back in.
I think he's learned his lesson.
Anyway, after a long design
Worst
process,
version of
here is
being
what
sent
the
out in
program
the
has come
hall.
up with. The wonderfully named Urk's Tomb.
Oh,
to remind him
no.
of how long he's going to be staying there.
No.
This craft is a ground base. Its goal is to land on the surface of Duna and use this little module here, a science lab. In a science lab, you place important data collected from experiments and analyze it.
Is that one of the
Takes in
experiments?
one science as one data, and after analysis, gives you 5 science. So basically, science times 5. Pretty pog if you ask me. Now, Mr. Kevin. Oh yeah? I'm going to issue you a challenge. If you can design the transfer craft and launcher for this base, I won't throw you into space ever again. Oh, and you have 4
steep
seconds.
offer.
Go.
Oh.
Okay, time's up. Oh, yeah, I think I did pretty good. Let's see what you got for us, Kevin. Oh my god. It's beautiful. The optimized engines, the fuel ducts leading into the center stage, the 300 kilograms off the mass limit.
Music is so good.
It even has a watermark.
Okay, so, Kevin? It's bad.
There he goes.
Anyway, we're gonna use this vehicle to take us to Duna. Oi! Why'd you throw me out? You're using me craft. Anyway, let's get this guy up and into orbit.
Let's go. We even got a new track for this one. And a guy screaming. And dying Lego Yoda.
Alright. I think you know the drill by now.
Alright, let's go! Let's go! Oh. Land, do science, go forth. Don't explode. Please. Please. Please.
For the final time, Urk has touched down on Duna. Unfortunately for him, he will never leave again.
No.
He plants a flag and inscribes the plaque with... Uh-oh. Poor Urk.
Poor Urk.
He goes and runs all the experiments available on the craft. This would ordinarily create a pretty big bounty of science for us. But with this science lab, we can turn it into a huge amount of science.
Cool. Love
Given some time.
that. Just a little time lapse.
And, after a year and a half of sitting inside a cramped room collecting data, Urk has generated over 8,000 science for the program to use.
It's a lot of science.
Urk has made great sacrifices for our space program, and for that, we are thankful. Thank you, Urk. Godspeed.
The cinematic shot of him getting left in space forever.
Wait, what the hell? Where'd he go?
You abandoned him. On Duna.
Kevin?
Oh, him.
Hey, Kevin, what are you doing? What the fuck? Where'd you get
He
that
turned
from?
on the gravity.
Kevin, get back. Kevin. Kevin. What the fuck? Kevin. I'm doing my own thing. Fuck you. Kevin.
I wonder if the model who posed for that stock photo will ever see this. That'd be cool.
Where'd he go? What
Oh,
the
there's
hell?
a whole new plot with Kevin now.
He'll come back, right? Right?
The plot thickens.
Well, anyway, where were we? Ah, that's right. With our huge bounty of science, we can research new and exciting technologies. Better heat shields, more efficient engines, and special nuclear reactors are all available to us now. Very good. I think this means we should start building...
Launch 4.
So, we've conquered Duna.
Yes.
Some probes, a landing, and a base. Now let's move closer to the sun, to the Purple Boy.
Purple
Eve,
Boy!
the biggest bastard in the
Eve?
solar system. What are we going to do there? The exact same thing as with Duna, but with a single launch. We're going to send a relay probe and a base. No lander this time around, because leaving Eve is reserved for people that have gained access to their entire nervous system. So why is Eve a total bitch to leave? 3 things. Its very dense atmosphere, general girthiness, and high gravity. At sea level, the atmosphere is so dense that some engines simply don't work at all. The other reason is that to orbit Eve, you need to be going at around 3,000 meters per second, which is pretty quick. So no leaving for us. Or at least our Kerbals. On this one-way trip to the Purple Hellscape, we have recruited our man, our boy, our hero, Obson Kerman.
Come on,
He'll be seated in
Obson,
the
you and
craft
your
science
1
lab for the
star.
remainder of his life. Poor Obson. Anyway, you know the drill? Let's get to Eve.
Alright, Obson. Say goodbye to your home forever. Before you go to Thanos world. What is this music? It sounds like it's from something.
Now that we're in orbit, we lower it into the atmosphere.
It's gotta be like just stock
Time
music,
accelerator ahead,
right?
burn up and explode.
Oh, no!
Just kidding, I'm a professional, and this is definitely something I would never do.
Hobson, no.
What actually happened is I put the lowest point of the orbit around 50 kilometers up so the atmosphere could slow us down. Wow, would you look at that? It's getting hot. Really, really hot. Must be all that friction, right?
Must be.
Yeah, that friction really generates a lot of heat on re-entry, doesn't it, guys? Yeah, friction! Definitely couldn't be any other mechanism other than friction.
The Nokia.
Hello? Yeah, who is this? Wait, what about the YouTube comment? Oh, it's not friction? Huh. No, I didn't get it wrong in the last video. You see, there's this guy in my class, and he's called Kevin.
Not anymore.
Hello
Stop
again?
lying. He's not
It's me,
there.
Vsauce Derek. I'm here to talk to you about compression. No, not video compression. Air compression. Air compression is actually what causes the heating on re-entry. But how? Well, first off, what is air made of? Pretty simple. It's made of molecules. A whole lot of molecules. Now, what is temperature? Also pretty simple. It's how much a given molecule or atom is vibing. More vibes equals more kinetic energy, which equals higher temperature. Fairly simple. So as you can imagine, if you squish a bunch of air molecules together, they're going to bump into each other quite a lot. Bumping into each other equals more vibes, which equals higher temperature. Now, normally moving around in the air doesn't burn you to a crisp because the air molecules can get out of the way. However, say we're traveling at a modest 3 kilometers per second. The air molecules now don't have any time to get out of the way and are compressed into a superheated plasma. Pretty cool. Actually no, pretty hot.
It's hot.
Which is why we have this heat shield. Anyway, we don't burn up in the atmosphere, deploy the chutes, jettison the heat shield, deploy the legs, and touch down on the surface of
That
it.
Yoda noise will get me every time, guaranteed.
Very good. Obson leaves the confines of the science lab for the last time in his life and plants a flag reading,
Alright, Obson.
Obson in the house. Nice.
There
Once
he
he
is.
gets back inside, he begins working through the mountain of data, slowly turning it into sweet, sweet science. How much science? Well, after 3.5 years, he manages to acquire 25,000 science points.
Ooh, it's a lot
Well
of
done, Obson.
science. Yay.
Good job. Like the last time,
This is my
we
final
use the science
message.
to unlock more parts, and then we go out again.
Launch 5!
So, there we go. Eve conquered in one launch. Very good. Next up, the Joule system. Now there's a problem with going to Joule. It's very far away, which means our high-powered 4G antennas can't reach it to communicate with our crafts.
Oh no!
Even if we upgrade it to the skin-melting speeds of 5G, the signal will still be lost behind all the planets. The solution? A relay satellite network in orbit of Joule. Like real 5G, our satellites are short range. So how do we solve this problem? More satellites. Behold,
It's a lot
the
of
great and
satellites.
powerful Telstra Incorporated 5G tower dispenser. The most powerful rocket ever built.
5G
16
powered.
satellites per layer, 2
wow.
layers per hex section, 3 hex sections. In
That's-
total, 96 satellites in a single launch.
That's a lot. That's a
Very
lot of
nice.
satellites. There.
5G coverage, here we come.
Bringing 5G to the solar system. Look at all those little guys. Oh, it is really far away. Jeez.
To spread the satellites out nice and far, we place the craft into an orbit intersecting Joule's chunkiest moon, Tylo. Then we max out the reaction wheels, spin up the craft to a
Kylo
truly
Ren,
eye-watering
I
speed,
love Star
and
Wars. Jeez. That is silly looking. My goodness.
and there we go.
That just looked
We've
like a
rendered the map
sequence from a
completely
2000s
unusable, but
movie
we've
where
also
like
placed
someone
probes
like
absolutely
hacks all the
see
satellites
this
in
as a complete
orbit
win.
around the Earth.
Now I know I said I'd do an ELU base this episode, but I can't be asked. Once again, you'll have to wait for episode
Fair.
3. I'll tell you when the next one comes out, but only if you subscribe.
Only.
This is not optional.
Okay.
Oh, and also follow my Twitter to gain deep insights into the
Chab
human
is dead and I
experience.
killed him.
This is also not optional. And while you're at it, like the video. Come on now. Being real for a minute, I haven't really acknowledged that I have in fact grown a whole lot. Thank you all for 150,000 subscribers.
Oh, yay.
If you have a 1080p monitor,
Congrats.
this is what 150,000 pixels looks like.
That's pretty
Each
cool.
pixel in this yellow square is one of you. Pog. Unless you aren't subscribed. Not Pog.
No.
Speaking of not Pog, I've ordered a bunch of new PC bits, but they're all out of stock. Hopefully once they all arrive, the videos can be 60 FPS at 1440p, which would be pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Anyway, boyos, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays,
Oh.
and adios.
Oh. There's a post-credit scene. Kevin, what are you doing? You're not supposed to be out here. He's still wearing that frown. That smile is still upside down. Oh, he's leaving. Oh my goodness. The saga continues. We went through the whole plot of The Martian and then some. That's like The Martian's bad ending, where Matt Damon as a Kerbal has to go back to space and live there forever. Wow. That is... And they left us on a cliffhanger with that one planet, I don't remember what it was called, the gray one, and the saga of Kevin. I hope there's more to learn in the next episode. But thank you for joining me for this one. As always, if you like this video and you want more content just like it, you can like and subscribe to Chicago Reacts, and we'll see you next time.